I am. Here I go. Uh, Before we get started today, I want to clarify something that I did in the yesterday's video when we were uh, doing the lines on the bars. You remember I came over here and I wire brushed the piece off over here at the slack tub of the water, and it was out of the screen. You couldn't see it, and I wasn't clear about what it was I was doing. It was, as I watched the video afterwards, I saw, well, it sounds like he's dipping it in the water, and I'm not. I'm dipping the brush in the water and getting it wet before we do it. So today we'll do something here. We'll do that, okay? I have a piece in the coal fire, and coal fires are dirty, so I have a piece in the coal fire. Um, when I first started blacksmithing, Marty taught me a very good, important habit to brush the ironwork all the time. You come out, you brush it, hammer it. When you're done, brush it. And he instilled that in me because he does it constantly, and it shows in the work. It's beautiful when you're done. And then you'll remember several years ago we had Peter Berner here, and he was right here at this anvil, and he took a brush and he got it all wet. We take this brush here. Let's hold it down. Yeah, take this brush here and get it all wet, and then he brushed at the anvil the piece when he was done, and it was beautiful. It just cleans it up. The shock of the water and the steam pops the scale off, and the piece is spotlessly clean. So so I've gotten in the habit of doing that, not just at the end now. You might say it's obsessive, but it really makes a difference in the piece in the end. I'll brush it almost every heat in the water. When I'm done hammering it, I brush it in the water. Especially if it was something that was forge welded. If I forge welded something, when I'm done forge welding it, even before I do the finish draw out or anything like that, I come over and right away I wash it with a wet brush, and that what that does is that pops the flux out of the borax out of the weld, because that's going to leach forever and a day if you don't do something like that. Do something about it. You can't just forge weld a piece and just leave it. You have to do something to get rid of the fluxes. It's always still in there. And Carl Close is the one that set me up on that to tell me that if you just hit it with water when it's just into the black heat, that'll boil that flux out of that, and you'll never have that problem again. And you will have that problem. You will always have that problem if you don't do something about it. And the worst thing in the world is you have this beautiful piece you've made, and a year later this white stuff is leaching out. So okay, I've got this piece in the coal forge. Coal forges are notoriously dirty, right, compared to a gas forge. And so I'm just going to bring it out. Got this nice piece here like this, right? You can see it. And we'll just I get the brush wet, not I don't dip the piece in it. And then I'm brushing the piece with a wet brush, see? Oops. I'm just doing it down here at the barrel because the water, otherwise I'd have the water all over the floor, I should have shown you this piece before I got it hot, because with all the forge welding that was done to it, there was what I call boogers all over it. It was a nasty piece. But boy, I'll tell you what, it's looking good now. It is really nice and clean now. Still a little bright there, isn't it? The cameras pick that up. It's not as bright as the cameras show. It's a dull red. But it's very clean, very nice. So that's what I do. I dip the brush in the water, not the piece, and then I brush the piece off. Okay? And the shock of that water helps get rid of the scale. And it's a beautiful piece when you're done. All right? So now we'll get on to what we're going to do today. Oh, I can't see it very well anyway. There it is. That's better. There's his brother over here. There's an old rusty one. Okay. All right, so yesterday we finished the chisel work. We've on those long bars. They would already been. I spent about a week texturing the bars, and then putting the chisel lines in those 3 bars. 2 of them somewhere in the 40-inch range, and the longer one in the 60-inch range. So yesterday we put the chisel line, the last of the chisel lines in there. Hey, I have a different mic. I found my good mic. I found the good mic today. So maybe we'll have better sound. We'll see. So now I have them in the gas forge. I got to get them hot for a long distance. Okay, I'm going to get them hot over a long distance. And then I'm going to go in here to the hydraulic press, and I have 2 long, heavy bars in here that I can flatten those bars out, because those bars, with all that, they're wonky. As the Brits would say, they're wonky. They're going like this. They're going like this, because all that hammering. It's just going to be the case. But I've got to get them nice and straight now. And so that's what I'm going to do here. I got them in the gas forge, the long tube gas forge. I can get about every bit of 12 to 16 inches. I'd say I only have a good 10, 12 inches that's usable in there. And I'll bring them out and we'll press them with the 20-ton hydraulic press. Straighten them out. There they are, nice and red. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's straight now. Nice and straight. Nice and straight indeed. That's half the bar. I gotta let that cool and I'll turn it around and do the other half. So we'll set that aside. We'll just set that aside here to cool. And let's get another one out of there. I'm gonna purchase another camera today that will give you point of view, that you'll see right what I'm seeing, because I'm right in the middle of this. I'm right on it. I can see what's going on right here, and it's kind of good to do that. So I'm ordering another camera that I will wear, and it will give us. You'll get the exact point of view that I'm seeing. Problem is, that camera is going to take at least a couple of weeks to come, at least. And then I got to figure out how to use it, huh? And how to hook it up with all this system. That's the part I have a hard time with, because I'm no technical guy, and I really depend on my brother-in-law to get it right for me. To teach me how to do it, to teach me to get it set up and show me how it works. Because Nice. No more twist in it. No more funny things happening. It's I don't know what you can see there or not, but it's straight. Okay. Now this is the longer bar. Now when I'm doing this, I start in the middle. The biggest problem is you're going to see I turn it sideways like this, because if I turn it the other way, it would sag and droop. I start in the middle and I work my way out on these bars. Because of the drooping problem, you have the weight, and the bar is just going to droop. So as it cools, then it stops drooping, and I can work my way out from the center. And that's how I do it. Whoops. Wow, there's, you know, this press is only 20 tons, and it gives me more than enough. More than enough. I can't imagine the guys that have the 40-ton press. I think you could do a lot of damage in a heartbeat, and you could probably hurt yourself pretty bad in one split second. This one is dangerous enough. Everything has to be in line, and no loose parts. Okay, that's pretty good. This is really important, this one, because this goes across the top and it's a long one, so it has to, if it wasn't straight, you'll see it. Everyone will see it, and we don't want that. So we're doing pretty good here. Back in the fire to heat up a little bit. Get the end. It's pretty good. All this just, you know, it's a lot of stuff here. Little things. But when we get all done, it's going to look pretty nice. It's going to have that look, that's for sure. Now, when you're flattening like this, it doesn't have to be bright hot. It can be a dull red. Actually works quite well that way, because then it doesn't droop on you. See, that's a pretty dull red on there. I don't know. In these cameras, it'll show up as a much brighter red, because these cameras are set up, they're actually for security, and they work on low light. So the bright metal, they're not friendly to bright metal. It's really bright to them. Okay. That is that. I'm going to brush it. First, I'm going to turn off the gas. No sense wasting more gas. Okay, we'll turn off the hydraulics. There we go. And now let's give it a brush. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, I'm pleased with that. It's nice and straight. Looks good. Looks good. So, I have to let them cool so I can turn them around. You know, I gotta let them cool so I can, hey, look at what happened. We went so dark this camera went into the dark mode. Ha, what about that? Is it gonna come back? It's kind of neat though, isn't it, watch it in black and white, but you want to see the color. You can see me sliding the bar here on the other camera. It's nice and straight. I really like this looks. It looks good. If you're ever watching these videos and you see it looks like something it's bent, you know, sometimes it's the camera lens. If it's close and being brought up, the whole picture goes. So that's that. But it's looking pretty good. It looks real good. So we gotta let these cool, and once they're cooled, then I can turn them around. I can hold the other end that I already straightened, and again, that's why I start in the middle, and then I'll heat the middle up again and work my way out the other way, and straighten them all out, and everything will be nice and straight then. So it's just more of the same. So we'll call this one done for today, huh?